morning, Joe.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it on this March morning.
Sorry I'm a little late.
Not at all. Always good to talk to you. Let's, seeing as we're limited for time, get right into probably one of the most important topics is the teacher negotiations and the fact that it's now going into state arbitration and how that all happened.
Sure. Well, the negotiations last Friday night, the school team, declared an impasse and suggested mediation. And the teachers union, the QEA caucus, came back and agreed to mediation. So the state has now assigned a mediator to it. And this would be, I think, very helpful because it's a third party. And this person will then go back and forth between both parties and try to find that middle ground for the contract. So I think it's a good step. I think it's a positive step, and hopefully we'll be able to work everything out.
So, who is the mediator?
I don't have the name in front of me, Joe.
Okay.
But it's state assigned, Department of Labor. So I don't have the name off the top of my head, but somebody has been assigned with experience in this business.
And what is the process now going forward?
The mediator will put dates together with both parties, and then begin. And it's negotiations, but a different way.
So, is there a timeline? Is there a deadline for an agreement to be reached?
I don't think there's a deadline. I know that by the state appointing somebody so quickly, that being yesterday after filing Friday, I thought was a good thing, and I think both sides want to get this done. So, we remember the old term dilly-dally. We don't want to be dilly-dallying around. So we're both sides I think are eager to get there.
The union, as you know, has put out a statement saying they kind of begrudgingly agreed to the mediation. They didn't feel there was a stalemate, and there does seem to be some animosity going on between the two sides regarding this negotiation.
Yeah, I think that's too bad. I think we've had 15 sessions of negotiations between both sides, and we weren't getting there. So. I don't think there's anything wrong with using the process of mediation. Have someone from the outside come in and look at things objectively and come up with approach that hopefully is reasonable for both sides. So, begrudging or otherwise, I think it's a good tool in the process, and hopefully we'll get there.
The union had requested a private mediator, maybe splitting that cost. Why did the city not feel that was the good way to go?
We felt going through the state mediation process was a good way to go. This is what they do. I just think it's the right route. It's a tool that's allowed for municipalities. Again, both sides agreed to it, whether begrudgingly or not. I wasn't aware they were begrudging about it, but we had 15 sessions. That the last several sessions there was very little movement. So. At some point you got to scratch your head and say, okay, how do we get there? And again, this is a tool in the tool chest of the mediator. So I think it's a good step, and I'm certainly hopeful we'll make good progress and get there.
Does mediation head off what could have been a potential strike?
Well, you'll have to ask the QA that question. Strikes are illegal, and I don't expect them to strike, but I would hope that this is a message that to everybody that, hey, look, that we had an impasse, that we were at a place where we weren't making progress, and this is a good thing. So let's give this a try, and hopefully the dates the mediator will be calling for between both sides will be quickly in the calendar placed, and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. Will it be the same bargaining team from the city mayor dealing with the mediator?
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, the mediator deals with the same two teams, but the two teams don't come to face.
Yep.
The mediator goes between the two parties.
I see. Okay. So you don't know the date for the first session yet?
I do not know.
Okay.
I believe some dates were being issued yesterday for both sides to look at the calendar, but I don't have those in front of me, Joe.
Okay. And the other topic, Mayor, I'm sure you're aware of all the discussion going on in the city about the future of the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater and the plans for that. Can you explain some details about what that might entail?
Yeah, sure. The Quincy Park and Recreation Board discussed at the request of the Commissioner, David Murphy, the use or reuse of the amphitheater. Now, before I say too much on that, the city's committed to honor Ruth Gordon in a more significant way in the downtown with the Performing Arts Center coming. So I certainly want to make it understood that Ruth Gordon will be forever remembered in the city for her incredible accomplishments. Now, Commissioner Murphy had discussions with the Park Board because of some of the safety concerns at the amphitheater. First of all, we don't have concerts there anymore. All the concerts are really held in the downtown, either Kilroy Square or most of them have been in the Hancock Adams Common, where people can enjoy that setting. So the amphitheater has not been used really for any theater for a long time. And it becomes a safety issue, is what the Park and Rec Board have raised with the Commissioner, that back climbing wall. I shouldn't say it's a climbing wall, but it's become a little bit of a climbing wall for some of the kids. And I know they're very concerned if the kid falls down that wall that it could crack a skull or something. It's a bit of a danger issue. So I had told the Commissioner to slow things down to make sure the Park and Rec Board has some meetings on this, so the public can come in and weigh in. But that's a call of the Park and Rec Board, and we'll be continuing to communicate with the Commissioner and the Board on that.
The talk is that there are plans to fill it in and put up a playground.
Well, they would, if the amphitheater goes away,
Mm-hmm.
the discussion was to fill it and use it for other recreational, whether passive or active. Again, that'll be up to the Park and Rec Board. Playground, I'm sure, would be a possibility.
Okay. There's a beautiful, as you know, headstone to Ruth Gordon up there. Would that stay in that place? Do you know?
I think we'd honor Ruth Gordon you just said a headstone. That's exactly what it looks like, and it's not a grave.
Yeah.
I think we can honor her in a more positive way, perhaps with a sculpture of her, and in another way. But that will be not thrown away. We'll certainly hang on to that, see if it fits with the new facility. If not, we certainly could keep it placed in that vicinity. Maybe tell a little bit of the history of the site as well.
Okay. Speaking of remembering ladies, there was a beautiful event on Saturday up at Quincy High School.
Yeah, it was a great event, well attended,
Yes.
and each and every one of them did a fantastic job in their remarks. We're very blessed in the city with so many accomplished folks, and sharing their stories Saturday I thought was awesome and great examples for our younger ladies.
Yeah, I'll remind folks, we'll have the full ceremony here at QATV in the very near future, so folks should look out for that.
Good.
Good to talk to you, Mayor. Thank you for calling in.
My pleasure, Joe. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.